minutes. Good evening, chairs, trustees, parents, and friends. The controversial surrounding the contents of the Policy 545 was discussed several times during previous presentations. Today, I would like to emphasize three important points. Number one, Draft Policy 545 has been developed for 2 years. Yet, during the 2 years period, parents and concerned individuals were not given any opportunity to provide inputs. Now that we wish to provide inputs, the Burnaby School Board District has imposed the deadline, which is only a few days from now. Without the immediate attention of these last few days, only a small number of parents would have been aware of the contents of the draft policy. This breaches the rights of the parents. This is not fair and is against the spirit of democracy in Canada. 2 years ago, a developer planned to build a small townhome close to the Traffic-Burke Elementary School. The developer held 3 public hearings at the Burnaby City Hall to discuss the residents' concerns about the traffic congestion. All the neighborhood was notified about the meeting. When we dealing with the controversial issues, holding a public hearings is a tradition among the democratic countries. Why did you choose not to hold public hearings to discuss this issue when the process was first began? Printed newsletter distributed by the school and the PAC or DPAC are the very convenient way to ask the input from the parents. But why did the Burnaby School Board not ask for the input at the beginning of the process? Is there any hidden agenda to keep parents informed of what is happening in the school? Many parents still don't know about what actually is happening as of today. Last week, one of my friends told me he asked 4 parents about this draft policy, but none of them are aware of this. So it is reasonable and necessary that the Burnaby School Board provide all information related to this draft policy as has been requested. Provide 90 days for parents study and information and follow this with open and transparent discussions where parents can provide input. Number 2 is about the democracy. 22 years ago, there was a peaceful rally in Beijing. It was a democratic movement started by the students from university, but the government didn't care about their opinion and don't accept their petition. The government opposed democracy and they fired the students, used the guns and tanks. Many people sought the freedom to come to Canada, where this freedom of speech and the freedom of the religion was protected. I still remember that day when I was sworn in as a Canadian. I cried. I was so glad that I'm a Canadian and I love this wonderful, beautiful country. I will do my best to defend democracy. I want to see the Burnaby School Board defend the democracy as well. According to the news 11:30, Board Chair Larry Hayes says he will do what he thinks is right. Whether this was 5 people protesting or 1,000 people protesting, I just think it is a correct thing to do from our district. And Mr. Larry Hayes comments in the Burnaby now, where the board is considering feedback, is not ruled by the referendum or the petition. I'm wondering how Mr. Hayes, a democratically elected trustee, can ignore the democratic policy process. Mr. Hayes has an obligation to listen to the concerns of the parents and not just do what he believes is right, but reflect the concerns of what the people think is right. I would like you to think about it seriously. Are you sure you are absolutely right? If you are do, then in the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights, wrong, in the Article 26, number 3, the Declaration states that parents have a period right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. If the parents says they do not wish their children to receive education in a certain subject matter, do you still think that your thoughts are the only absolute, and you will make the school go against their will and bypass the democratic process? If the board is planning not to listen to the concern from the students and the parents, why are you asking for input? Is this all just a show to the public to make it look like the board is interested in the concern of the parents, when its reality is will just do what you want? Does it prove that you don't want to listen to the parents' feedback at all? What's the board concerns? If this policy is right, why cannot we have an open, transparent discussion with the public? I do totally agree we need to respect each other. But respect doesn't mean that we all have to agree to one and only one idea. We can show respect to people and still have disagreements. This is what living in a community is all about. Draft Policy 545, however, is force our children and their parents to agree with one idea and only one idea, which is a behavior that is morally wrong according to their belief. This violates the freedom of religion. How much do you care about the religion freedom of the child? What's important is to you to protect the child's religion rights. The policy violates the freedom of religion. Those who believe the truth of the Bible can't go into the school to teach their children, other children, that the Bible is the truth. This is because the public school, in order to include everybody, don't promote any particular belief system. This is what means by separation of the church and state. When the school imposed a belief on children, such as heterosexual is not the norm, as the Draft Policy 545 says, then the school had assumed the role of the church. Schools should not have no role in imposing the belief. Schools should be about promoting positive behavior. There must be no discrimination against anybody in the public school system, even when there is disagreement about the beliefs. Number 3, last one. Many parents, especially Muslim Canadian and Asian Canadian parents, have to wonder if our children are safe in the Burnaby School District after the hateful, disrespectful comments made by some members of the public through the media. I can't even repeat the things that have been said because they are so hateful. We have also been bullied at the May 10 rally by students and other individuals who discriminate against us because we have different beliefs. They won't even let us demonstrate peacefully on public property and chase us across the street, as News 1130 put it on. So we have some safety with the protection of the RCMP on a private property. We want to teach our children what our faith teaches about marriage and about the family. We are not teaching our children to hate somebody because they have different ideas about marriage. Nobody should call another person names or discriminate against them because they have a different opinion. We oppose any kind of...
You have 1 minute if you could start wrapping up.
Thank you. Discrimination bullying. We want the children, including LGBTQ children, grow up together happily. But the Draft Policy 545 was already promoted discrimination and intolerance. Dear trustee, today you are standing at the crossroads. Not only people from Burnaby are watching you, people from across Canada are watching you. Since the foundation of Canada, our country has protected religious freedom and the freedom of the speech. Draft Policy 545 take away these rights from children. I sincerely ask the trustees to provide all the requested information to parents and allow the 90 days to study this information. Then sit down and consider the concern of the parents in writing a draft policy that respects all the rights of all children in the Burnaby public school system. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustees, any questions of clarification for the delegation? See none. Thank you very much. We'll now move on to our third delegation.